Well, hello there, world. It is I, Dave, your favorite fanny pack wearing human after the rock, of course. Well, today is a very special day. It is February 9th. Now, for many of you, you're just like, what is February 9th? The day after February 8th, the day before February 10th. But for many, it is the day that we celebrate Brian Holler, the birth of Brian Holler, 41 years later. Now, I don't know the whole story and how Brian Holler got his name. That's something we're going to have to ask Jay and Dee Dee. But I just imagine he comes into this earth and Jay looks at him and says, that is Brian. That is my son, Brian Holler. And, that may not be what happened at all. Maybe he's just like, Brian. Like, I don't know. We'll have to find that out.
Donald Trump, now fully in control, full presidential mode, maximum spectacle, historic birthday event. This is going down in history, folks. Dave, let me tell you, you are so right. This is not just any day. No.
This is way to butt in, but it's good. I was rambling.
This is a day
you
that
take
will
over,
be
Donald.
remembered as one of the greatest birthdays of all time.
Okay.
Because today we celebrate Brian Holler, a man so unique, so one of a kind, that when he entered this world 41 years ago, time itself took a moment to appreciate it. Now listen, I don't know exactly what happened in that delivery room, but I imagine it went something like this. Dee Dee, exhausted, just did tremendous work, incredible work, and she looks at this newborn baby, and Jay sees him and says, that is Brian. And just like that, boom, history was made. But let's be honest, folks, Brian didn't come into this world normally. Oh no, this is a guy who came in already defying gravity. He probably tripped over the umbilical cord on the way out. Unbelievable. The nurses said, "Doctor, he's already falling." And the doctor said, "Get used to it." This kid, he's going to be falling for the next 41 years. And guess what? They were right. The man, the myth, the human caution tape. Folks, let's talk about gravity. Gravity, not Brian's friend. It's never been Brian's friend. If there is a single object in the room, anything, a chair, a curb, a pebble, even just air, folks, Brian will trip over it. If coolers had Second Amendment rights, Brian would be banned from being within 100 yards of them. Devastation, total devastation. This man has done more damage to coolers than the last administration did to the economy. And that's saying a lot, folks. And listen, I have to say this, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear cut-off t-shirts, and Brian, he is that man. I mean, what is with this guy and cut-off t-shirts? Weddings, cut-off. Funerals, cut-off. Presidential inauguration, cut-off. And let's talk about socks on a boat, folks. Who does that? That's like running a country without a real border policy. Just a complete disaster. Science, let's talk about it. Now listen, folks, Brian was not a science guy. I mean, really bad at science. But for some reason, the neighbor kids called him science. Can you believe that? That's like calling Biden a master negotiator. It just doesn't add up. But here's the thing, folks. Fast forward 41 years, and guess what? Brian is now one of the few people in America who actually understands basic biology. He knows that men are men, women are women, and facts don't care about your feelings. And let me tell you, we need more of that in this country. This man is a damn genius, a scientific powerhouse, an intellectual titan. I mean, who would have thought? The hug master, the roasting champion. And folks, let's talk about the hugs. This guy, big hugs. I mean, massive. You don't just get hugged by Brian, you survive it. You come out questioning your life choices. You feel like you've just been hit by a bulldozer full of love and a little bit of judgment. Because, folks, Brian doesn't just hug you, he roasts you at the same time. He'll wrap you up and say, "Wow, you don't have eyebrows." And what do you do with that? You just have to take it. Food? A crisis. A total crisis. Folks, let's be honest. Brian has some food issues. He thinks ketchup is spicy. Ketchup, folks. This is a grown man who literally walked away from a meal to take a shower because his mouth was too hot. I mean, come on. That's worse than Biden trying to answer a simple question. Total disaster. And why won't he drink the last sip of anything? What's happening in there, Brian? What's the big secret? What do you know that we don't? America demands answers. The presidential proclamation. But folks, at the end of the day, Brian is one of the best. He laughs until he cries. He helps because he cares. And folks, this country needs more people like Brian. So today, on this historic occasion, on behalf of your family, your friends, and the entire world, I, President Donald J. Trump, officially declare today Brian Holler Day. Brian, you are tremendous. You are fantastic. And let me tell you something. Nobody has a birthday quite like you. And folks, I have to do it. I must. This is for Brian. If I could turn back time, if I could find a why, I'd make sure Brian didn't trip on coolers today. Happy 41st birthday, Brian. You deserve it. And let me tell you, this year, it's going to be the best one yet. God bless Brian, God bless his family, and God bless America.
Yeah, God bless y'all. Alex, I do have to say something here right now. You do know you are not really Donald Trump, right? Like, I know you're playing the role right now, but you do know you're just like you kind of took complete ownership of him, and I'm happy you did. I'm truly happy you did. But I think you're kind of losing yourself here, and it's really good. You actually also lost some of the stuff that his buddies said, which was crazy. For everybody out there, we learned a lot about Brian today. I've known a lot about Brian. He's a great human, but some of the stuff that his buddies have shared with me, it's pretty crazy. Trump, or Donald or Alex, when we're off here, I'll kind of share some of that stuff with you. Peed on a buddy, got Botox. He had a very high voice, apparently, higher than a lot of our wives, up until he had puberty. And not everybody's wife has a high voice, but it didn't matter because whether it was high or not, Brian's was higher, apparently. He used to get his hair brushed like Rapunzel, according to his sister, but also that may not be factual. A lot of stuff going on in this man's life. You hit it on the head with the ketchup and everything like that. Been at dinner many times with Brian and watched him sweat. But otherwise, Alex, I think you did a great job. A lot of stuff.
Donald or Alex?
Oh.
Who knows at this point, full commitment mode, lost in the character, but loving every second of it. Dave, let me tell you, I hear you. I really do. And I have to say, you're right. I'm not Donald Trump. I'm not the real guy. But let me tell you something, Dave. I feel it. I embody it. It's bigger than me now. It's bigger than all of us. And honestly, some people, very smart people, are saying that nobody has ever committed to a role this hard before. And I believe them. I really do. And listen, Brian? Brian is something else. I mean, folks, I have heard some wild stories in my time. I have seen some tremendous things. But Brian, this guy is on another level. I mean, Botox? A voice higher than all the wives. Peeing on a friend? Let me tell you something, folks. This is American history.
He doesn't have a voice that high anymore,
this
though.
Is the kind
I've
of
never heard
stuff
it.
They put in textbooks. You open a history book in the future and boom. The man, the myth, the spicy ketchup crisis. And let's be honest, Dave. The Rapunzel hair-brushing situation, I have to say, very concerning. Very questionable. But you know what? That's Brian. That's who he is. The man has lived a life. The man has experienced things. And honestly, we respect it. And listen, Dave, you mentioned it, but we need to really hit this. Brian? Sweating at dinner. Just dripping. And not because it's hot. Not because it's spicy. But because he cannot handle ketchup. Ketchup, folks. I mean, come on. This is a man who has sweated through a meal harder than some people sweat through a presidential debate. And that is not normal. That is not tremendous. But at the end of the day, Dave, let's be real, Brian is a legend. We roast him, we drag him, but we love him. We respect him. And let me tell you something. This world would not be the same without Brian Holler. So let me say this, and I mean this, Dave. Happy 41st birthday, Brian. You are one of the greats. You are one of the best. And let me tell you something. Nobody has a birthday quite like you. Believe me, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd make sure Brian's voice was lower today. God bless you, Brian. God bless everyone. And God bless America.
Well, one last thing. Again, happy birthday, Brian. But we did talk about this, how you have this huge level of commitment to Donald J. Trump. Let's say you needed to fill a position in your cabinet. Could you think of a position that you would fill with Brian Holler? Could we just come up with a great position for the guy? And then after that, we'll let you go.
Donald Trump. Completely locked in, full executive decision-making mode, the greatest presidential appointment in history about to be made. Dave, let me tell you, this is huge. This is tremendous. And honestly, a lot of people, very smart people, the best people, they've been asking me, they've been saying, Donald, if you had to pick one man, just one man to fill a major role in your administration, who would it be? And folks, today I have my answer. Now listen, Brian has many talents. We've seen them. He falls better than anyone. He sweats under no pressure at all. He wears socks on a boat like he's trying to make a statement. But most importantly, he is loyal. He is dedicated. He is a fighter. He understands the issues. He fights for what is right. And let me tell you something, folks. We need that in government today. So today I am proud, I am honored, to officially nominate Brian Holler as the United States Secretary of Gravity and Source Regulation. Now listen, folks, let's be real. America has a gravity problem. We need to make sure people stay upright. We need to protect coolers. We need to regulate the sidewalks. And honestly, nobody has more experience with gravity than Brian. If there is a single crack in the pavement, he will find it. If there is an object in his path, he will collide with it. This is boots on the ground experience, folks. Literally. And let's not forget the source crisis. Folks, we cannot have weak men in America afraid of ketchup. This is not what we do. And Brian knows the limits. He understands what is acceptable and what is too dangerous for the American people. He has felt the heat, folks. He has suffered for the cause. And let me tell you, if there is one man in this great nation who can step up, who can lead the charge, who can protect the people from unnecessary spice while keeping this country upright, it is Brian Holler. So, Brian, welcome to the administration. You are now officially Secretary of Gravity and Source Regulation. And let me tell you, nobody will do a better job than you. Folks, let's hear it. Huge round of applause for Brian Holler, a true American patriot. Happy birthday, Mr. Secretary. God bless you. God bless this great nation. And God bless America.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle. Happy birthday, Uncle B. Turn it up. I want you to turn it up.
Okay,
Turn it up.
get ready to sing.
Turn up. It's not turned up.
Get ready to sing.
It's not turned up.
Happy birthday.
I don't want to sing that. I just want to sing nothing. I just want to talk.
Talk about how much you love Uncle B.
No. I. No, open your mouth. No, Trump.
Okay, here. hold on.
Open your mouth.